Alright guys, welcome again to Pakratt's Catch. We're doing the tower defense special still. Now, we've looked at a lot of different tower defenses so far that make a lot of very different changes to what you would consider the normal for tower defense. And that's good, and I'm trying to only cover ones that really do something completely different. This is a no exception to the rule. This one is called Gemcraft. Gemcraft is one that takes the idea of what the tower is and kind of alters it a lot. Now, the first thing you're going to note is that this is not your cutesy tower defense. There's no cartoony graphics. There's no any of that basics type of stuff. This one is a lot. The entire theme of it is a lot darker, a lot more ominous, and such like that. And that alone makes it different because it's such a huge contrast to like bubble tower defense or desktop tower or balloons tower defense, which is entirely about cute monkeys shooting at things. This is completely different on that front. This one is more about it. It does a lot more magic-based stuff, and it tries to do more dark artsy whatever. Now, I'm going to warn you ahead of time, this does have a lot of stuff that you can buy ahead of time. So although it is a free game, and I've never paid a dime for it, it is entirely possible to buy your way to success in this one as well. Kind of. Excuse me. Even if you do pay for stuff, it's not a guaranteed win. So it doesn't really matter a ton. It helps, but it's not perfect. But that's both good and bad. It means there's stuff that's not unlockable unless you actually, pay for it. But that's okay. You don't need the unlocks. They just make the game easier. And frankly, I'd rather play the game in the way that it's designed anyways. Also, another thing to note, this is not the first game in the series. This is the third game in the series. Something difficult to note by the fact that the first one is 1, the second one is 0, and the third one is lost. Yeah, there's supposed to be a 2 coming out someday, somewhere further down the line that I've not actually, who knows? I mean, it's long off, I'm quite sure. But that's beside the point. It also has a good strategy guide available that you can go through to help you out with all the dungeons and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and start the game. This one has a lot of options to it too, and I really love that about the game. First thing we're going to notice is that we have a very different looking map. Now, how this one works is, first of all, no, I already said first of all, but let's look at the fact that the maps themselves are, they're standard maps. So there's not one where you're going to create your own line like in desktop tower defense or bubble tower defense. You're not creating your line. It does give you the set path. Kind of. And normally. Not always. This one's set path is very alterable, and there's a lot that the set path is alterable. The black areas on these maps are the areas that the creeps are going to be walking on. So you can tell they're very different from one another, and so on and so forth. Also, in order to unlock a map, you need to beat the map in a way that it has a path to go to the next map. Like if I unlock this map, it's got paths going up, it's got paths going to the right. So it'll unlock this one, it'll unlock that one. And if you look at, say, this one, if I beat this one, it unlocks nothing. It only makes it so that you can gain some more experience from the battle. You don't actually beat it to a point where you can get to the next level. And that, I kind of like that. There's a lot of storyline behind this game. They tried to add a lot of depth to it. I don't necessarily care about the story. To me, it's just a game. But it does try to make it so that there's actual reasons for things. And that's why you see actual directions that you have to go. Like, you can't just start the path here and just keep going up and up and up and up and up to get to the center. You need to work your way around it. Like, the only way that I can... In fact, the only way I can see that I can actually move forward right now is by beating this one. I don't even see one that unlocks anything at this moment. Now, as you might note, I have not progressed far in this version of the game. When I converted over to my new computer, this was not cloud saved, so this is not one of the games that saves to the site that you work on. And I play this on Congregate, but you don't have to. It originally comes from Armor Games, from what I can tell. That's what is on the title and junk like that, but you can play it wherever. Doesn't matter, as long as you stick to one, just like always. It's also got a lot of good tutorials, because this game, it does have a lot of differences to it. It's got a lot of strategy involved with it, because it's not just place towers. Well, it is. But if you want to beat the game proper, you really need to concentrate on stuff. You also notice that it's a very grid-like pattern. There's different parts on the grid that are worth more points than others. If you look at this part right here, you can see the little blurred out areas. Those are areas that have extra challenges where if you can beat that challenge, you'll unlock something special. Unfortunately, some of those challenges don't seem to be available unless you pay for the game. Like this one right here. Back. If you look at this one says the challenge in this field is to beat 100 waves beaten on the field, but it only starts with 12 waves. And while you can unlock an extra number of waves, but we'll get into this in a minute, number of waves, you can only get up to a certain number unless you actually pay for the game. So that's, oh well. So you can't get everything in the game, but you can get quite a bit of it, and that's just a little extra thing. It's not that big of a deal. Now, one thing we're also going to note here is this particular screen. Whenever you go into a field, it gives you an option of making it harder. Why would you want it to be harder, you might ask? Well, it's actually quite simple. This game is about getting experience. You gain experience in order to gain level so that you can up your stats. Now, the stats are actually right here, and there's a lot of them. The more experience that you gain from what you do, the better. But you can only gain experience once per board. So, whatever experience I gain from this first board is what I gain from that experience, no matter how many times I beat that board. So, when you beat that board at the maximum level, that's the amount that's going to count towards your experience. So, if you want to get more experience, you need to go back to your levels, and you need to beat them on a harder difficulty. Because when you beat them on a harder difficulty, you get an experience multiplier. So if I got 20% higher hit points, I'd get a 0.11 increase. Swarm only, 0.17, 0.13, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you can't even get all these initially. You need to get certain levels before you can even unlock all of them. And of course, you can do this one, which there's multiple multipliers. You can get really crazy with this. But let's go ahead and let's also there's parts here you can get amulets that just give you extra experience that per level, and that's what you're looking for in the first place. But let's get into a game. We'll go ahead and we'll do one that we haven't done yet right here, and we're gonna keep it on normal. Now if you look here, one thing I do like about this game is it keeps the skill levels open. If I wanted to, I can go through and I can reset this whole thing just like that. And I can reset all the skills. You keep all the skill points, and you can increase them all right back up to where they were. And you can this helps you to tailor the skills that you use per level that you're playing on. And this is important for ones like these, where you can get different masteries for different types of gems, and you only want to use like poison mastery if you have the poison available on that level. Which, if you look back at the screen here, each level only starts you with 2 different towers that you can actually use. That's the gems that you see there, the 2 different colors. And you want to be able to make sure that your skill set matches that. Like if I don't have any poison on this level, which I don't, then it would be kind of pointless to have all my skills in poison. So it lets you go through and change that every time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this one at, I don't know, we'll just make it some basic modifiers here. That's fine. So let's start the battle here. You also notice in that screen there was stuff locked in the bottom there too. It also has a lot of tips and tricks and various little nitpicks that it does whenever you start a new board. And you would think that they would get annoying after a while, but there is so many little things that you can actually do to make this game easier to play. It's actually somewhat of a good reminder. For instance, you can use shift to do almost everything. Hotkeys all over the place. Every single one of these functions has a hotkey. All these have hotkeys. This one has 3 hotkeys. This one's so on and so forth and all that. There's a lot that you can do. The pause has a hotkey. The play has a hotkey. The speed up has a hotkey. Moving one further ahead has a hotkey. Everything has a hotkey, and that's just great. I like how you don't have to use your mouse for half of what you want to do. You still need to use the mouse to click the things onto the board, but I like how it gives you that variety. Okay, now let's actually look at the board. Like I said, this is a very basic game in the fact that it does draw out the board for you ahead of time. So they start here, and they're going to go around and end up here. This is a basic tower defense where the idea is to keep the monsters in a line and you need to get direct, and you need to keep them from getting from your end point. It's very simple from that front, but it does allow you to alter it. These parts right here, this is all secondary points where they can come from. These are monster nests that you can destroy, and if you destroy them, you get fewer monsters coming out, and it makes it easier in the long run. Of course, destroying them is interesting in itself because you're playing tower defense. You can't exactly just walk over there and take them out. Not really. But we'll get into that. Also, you can alter your field, so we can actually place walls as long as the walls don't actually change make it so that they can't make it to the end. You're allowed to do that. Next thing, you cannot just simply place towers in this game. Like I said, this game's difference is about the towers. And it doesn't just let you place any tower anywhere you want on the field. Well, kind of it does. You're allowed to place a tower. So we got this tower right here. We're going to place it right here. Okay? It's not blocking anything, so we can do it. We can actually place them on the path itself, but that's beside the point. That's not what we're looking at right here. But there's nothing in it. Once you place a tower, you need to put a gem in the tower for it to do anything. Right now, this tower won't work. It's just a place to place a gem. That's it. And the towers that you have available from the beginning are limited. So like I said, you only have 2 to start with. And that makes it so that you have to plan your strategy per board. Now, it is possible to unlock the various other towers by spending your mana on that. So I could go, if I really, really, really wanted to have a poison tower here, I could spend it on that. But until I level up my guy further, so I have more mana to start with in the first place, that's not really feasible from the get-go. You need to plan your strategies from the beginning. And this, by the way, makes it so that pretty much every board, since you're going to be coming back to most of them again in order to get more out of them, it becomes very different because every time you come back to the board, it's actually different, even though it's the exact same board, because you're going to be able to unlock more, and yet you're going to make it harder on yourself by playing it. You're gonna come back to the board with an increase in the initial stats, and you're going to come back with an initial increase in the monster stats. So it's going to be different every time. Even though it's the same board, it's still different. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we can do with these towers here. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and make a gem. We're going to make one of these suckers. Now, every gem has its own different trait. Like this orange gem, what it does is every single time it hits a target, it gains 0.3 mana gain per hit. So it's basically just a multiplier. So you just get a little bit of extra stuff out of every time you hit. This one right here, we're going to place that one. This one, it makes it so that you take off a little bit of the armor. Now, not every single monster has armor. You can take a look here. It gives you stats for everything that's going to be coming up. And you can see the armor levels on these. And most of the armor levels on these is zip. Unless you have these little icons right here, in which so they're going to have a little bit of extra stuff on them. This one, these are runners. That's a swarm. So basically, actually, none of these have armor. Okay, so actually we got armor down here. We got armor level of 1, so that would deflect 1 damage. And then the last one's got 2, which is basically nothing. So this, it's not going to make us very happy on this board. It's not going to do a whole heck of a lot of anything. But that's okay. Doesn't matter. So we can actually take this one, place it down here, and when we hit play, it takes a little time for it to register the fact that it is placed. It's got like sync up with a tower or some crap like that, and it will slowly put itself in place. And you can tell they're coming out from all the locations. They're going to come out from every spot at once. And we can also put a tower. We can, like I said before, we can put a tower anywhere. So let's go ahead and put a second one right down here. This looks like a pretty good spot. We'll put the second armor one right here. Now, this is still a pretty early level, so this is going to be somewhat effective. You can see the range they got on them. And as you increase the gem that you bring out, the damage that it does, the special that it does, and the range that it does all increase. It's just very standard on that front. So if I came in here and I make the grade 1 gem, it's going to have these stats. If I go ahead and I make a grade 2 gem, it's going to be a little bit stronger. So let's go ahead, let's make a grade 2. So we have grade 1, which has the 4 to 8, 2 to 3, 1.8. So then we have over here, we have 7 to 15, 2.5, 2.1. So if we take a look at the range on this one, and we immediately change it with this one. So range increases, damage increases, everything like that. Now there's more ways of getting to this level than just simply creating the gem. Okay? We can go about making this gem by making 2 of this gem and combining it. This makes it so that you could take your gems that you already have in the board, and you can just instead of having to make a brand new tower, you can just upgrade this one directly. And there is a short key to that. I believe that one is where you gotta, what is that? Shortcut, that's U. So if we go over here and we press U, it basically makes a second gem and combines it, and suddenly that's upgraded. It's a nice, quick little shortcut. But wait, there's more. It's not just that. Okay, so we got a grade 2 gem here, and we have a grade 2 gem here, and I can take this and I can combine it with this for a grade 3. So we've already got a nice strong one over here. We got one down here that's kind of weakening them a little bit. We can then take this one. Let's go ahead and let's make another one over here. Let's make an orange. And remember, this is one's armor, this one's mana gain. We can take this, get the right key here, and we can combine it with this. So now we have a mana gain, armor reducing one. That's right. The actual towers that you can create in this game are not just the 8 that you start with. It's the 8 in addition to all the other ones next to it. And it's not just 2 that you can combine together. If we can unlock another type here, which I'm not probably going to be able to in this one, but you can get up to 3 different effects on one tower, making for a large amount of variety for what you can do for strategies in this game. Because not only can you unlock all the tower types for any level, but you can change the stats on every tower type just by combining them together. And it's a simple. They're very easy to upgrade. You can just keep, and you can do it slowly, or you can do it all at once. You can go ahead and you can make this level 6 gem by spending the mana on it, or you can slowly work up a level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level, and you can combine it very carefully along the way. It's actually pretty cool like that. Also, you can create all 8 gem types at once to create a prismatic gem, or like a rainbow gem type that's going to do a lot of damage. And I can tell it's sending us some swarm creeps. I'm glad I put that second gem there, because if I didn't put that second gem there, we'd be getting murdered right now. Also, it does, well, your actual hit points in this game, this is kind of unique. Your hit points are, I'm obviously not paying a whole lot of attention to this, because we're going to get owned if I don't pay attention pretty soon here. We're going to move this one over to here so we can strengthen the end game here. I'm probably going to upgrade that one directly. Yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to upgrade you. Get that one to a level 4. Because that's the dual one. And there's effects, there's strengths, and there's bonuses and weaknesses to making it so that it's a dual. Obviously, you see the 0.3 of mana gain. That's the same level of mana gain as you get off of this one. That's not that great. And the armor bonus is probably going to be the same as this one too. So it's not that great. This one right here does 0.5. This one does 0.3. So, and that's not that. Obviously, that's not that great of a difference, anyways, in the long run, but this one does fire a lot faster, so it's actually probably a little better. You can see the dual gem modifier, so 5% damage, 5% firing speed, and specials have some, yeah, so you actually get benefits for making it dual. Same thing if you get all 8, it's a massive benefit that way. But you also get huge benefits by keeping it pure. You need to tailor your playing style to what you're going to be putting into the game. And also, there's more to this game than just simply the towers. When we finish this level, we'll go on and we'll look at traps in the game, and we'll look at the shrines and the amplifiers, which are all different things that really add to the game. Let's go ahead. And like I said, this game has a lot of variety to it, so we can go ahead and we can just speed this game up. It gives you a lot of ability to do things like that. And I'm looking at this right now. This gives you a lot of stats, too. And we can look right there. If you look at the bottom, it says duplicate mana cost, 1,095. So if I took this one, if we get to 1,095 plus the cost it takes to combine the gem, we can actually combine it right here. So that looks like it's about right there. Let's make sure that we're not going to die. And let's go ahead and push U. And I just duplicated that one again to make an even stronger gem. We got a grade 5 here. Now, the grades go pretty dang high. There's a grade for each level. I think it can get up to grade 9. If you can somehow get to a grade 9, power to you, because it's not easy. Now you look down here, you can get these the Amulets gain, add to the experience that you gain per level. And if you looked up here where it says battle Amulets, it tells you the ones that you can unlock per level. And there's a lot. There's amulets for sending things out early. There's amulets for powering them up. There's amulets for taking out all those buildings. You can take all the structures out on a level. You can get an amulet for that. There's amulets for amulets on top of amulets and with amulets. There's amulets for making a grade 6 tower, which I only got to grade 5, so we didn't get that one. And so on, and so on, and so on. There's tons of ways to do that. And the more amulets you get per level, the more experience you're going to get per that level. So a lot of times, you're going to be going back to these levels over and over again to try and get more and more experience out of them by getting more and more amulets. And that's a lot of good variety in this game. Let's go ahead, let's look at something that's really good for... I might be clicking here for a minute to find a good level for this. Actually, where's that one? There's one that I particularly like. It's poison and chain hit. I know that. Poison, chain hit. Poison, chain hit. There you are. This one is fun. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And let's make this one swarm only, just to show some of the variety that you can get here. And we're going to increase the power of the poison on this one because we're going to be using that a bit. So, now, also, you can only get so many levels per. So, they make it so that you gotta slowly work your way up to the higher stuff. So, as soon as I unlock this, I can't suddenly just amp it. But we're gonna go ahead and go like that. So, that should make... I mean, I still have one left over, but we're not paying a lot of attention here. Now, this one is gonna be very different. In this one, we're gonna only build one tower. Just because. I'm not even gonna really worry about this tower. This one's just here for show, but it's basically just a finisher. This one, we're going to make traps. Traps are completely different than towers. Okay? What a trap does is its main use is to use the special effect that you get from these towers and put that on it. So we're going to create some poison gems here. And that makes it so that some of these towers get a lot more benefit out of being a trap versus being a tower. The tower is purely damage. It's basically... Well, not purely. It does a lot more damage to put something into a tower form than it does to put it into a trap form. So a lot of times, a lot of these ones you want to do for tower, like multiple damage, you want to be a tower. Bloodbound gem with just straight up damage for over time. But a lot of them gain a lot more benefit from just simply being in this form. Where this, because if you look at the, let's go ahead. We'll just make another one. If you look at the special for this one, this. Initially, this does 9 poison damage over 5 seconds. That's what it's telling you when it's in the tower form, like when it's right here. So that you'll get 9 damage for poison over 5 seconds, okay? And you'll notice the actual damage that it does, it's 5 to 10. We're going to put that back in here. Now, if we look over here, damage is only 1 to 2. But now it does 16 poison damage over 5 seconds, and the firing rate, I think the firing rate increases. No, it does not increase. Well, that's a shame. All right, so that is totally different. It makes it so that you have and of course everything's going to get hit more evenly when it's going to be right on the field like that. So as soon as it runs over it, takes the hit. Of course, it doesn't hit everything because that would be OP evidently. That's why I put one over here too, because we got 2 different directions that are coming in. And let's go ahead and we'll speed up a little bit. And I don't even know if we're gonna beat this board. I just love this board. It's just a fun board to play on because it's got a nice long line, and you start with poison in the get-go, so it has a lot of cool stuff behind it like that. Also, one other thing that I want to note right now: if you really like making towers, or you really like making traps, every single time that you make one, it gets more expensive the next time. So making one, so if you want to make only towers, you want to make only traps, it's going to get wicked expensive very quick. You can tell this one right here. All right, now it's going to cost me 198. So we're going to take that, and we're going to put that one right here, and we'll put this poison tower in that. Now it's going to cost 222 mana to get the same thing, which is much more expensive than the last one, especially when my mana is not that high in the first place. And we're not gaining a lot from these guys either, because these are little bitty guys, so we're not going to take a ton of mana from each one that we're killing. But you can see the traps are different. And I think that they have a lot more help. They seem to help out a lot more for when we're doing levels like this. So, and obviously I'm saving up for another one. And this allows you to tackle different maps in completely different ways. Like, we could have done this one where we just amped up one tower right here and just put amplifiers all the way around it and made it so it does all this damage. And we could have made it not be swarms and made it be armored. You know? So let's go. We're going to keep forward winding through this. And now, the next thing we're going to look at is sending them early. So if we send these... actually, we should probably look into adding another one of these. Let's go ahead and put one right here. We'll make this another poison. Like so. So we get more hits out of this, because more is better. And I want to look at the actual... Okay, so we got hit points 12, 14, 17. So by 17, we want to make sure that these are doing more than 16 damage, I think. Probably. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. We might want to start upgrading them at that point. But let's go ahead and let this start running through. Now, sending them early has its benefits and its negatives. Obviously, sending them early is going to make it so that this gets to be a lot more tight-packed. And, well, it's more difficult. But sending them early also gives you a mana bonus. It's not a huge mana bonus, but it's a bonus. And you can see it right here. Well, actually, that's just how many monsters are in waiting to come out. But let's go ahead and send this in early. And it tells you, like, we started 20% early, and we got an extra 11 mana out of that. So... And also, the more you send early, the more mana you gain from sending early, the more likely you're going to unlock that amulet for sending it early. You can see this guy down here, by the way, is also attacking his structure in his spare time. That's good. If he finishes off the structure, we're going to make it so that, you know, things stop coming out of here. And that's why he's there. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to upgrade these a little bit. I wanted to be able to upgrade them pretty soon, so... you can tell we're also taking hits to our mana pool as they're coming through here, because that is also our hit points. And if we spend all our mana before we take out all the monsters, it's entirely possible to lose because they take out that last little bit. Like if I spend all this right here, we're down to 121, and this one does 121 damage. We're dead. If we had left that alone and let the mana keep pulling up and did the 121, we would have survived. And I find that kind of an interesting little addition by itself. Your hit points is what you're spending. Oh, that might kill us. Oh, that's not good. So we're going to speed this up a little bit more, and we might survive this one. We also might not. I'm not really entirely certain yet. Come on, I'd like to finish this up. Another thing. You can change the priorities on these things. If you look where it says on the bottom, target priority is nearest orb. If you hold shift and you click on this, if you use hit points, and a lot of games will have this, but it's nice to have that in here. Because this is the third iteration of this game, there was the I was going to show you the battle Amulets, I forgot to show you that. But because of this third iteration of the game, they give you a lot more options available to that end. Like, the shift does so much in this game. Shift is... so helpful. It allows you to make something more than once. You can use it to make like a bunch of walls at the same time, or a bunch of towers at the same time, or a bunch of the same amulets, or you can just oh, and we didn't even do the gem bombs. We'll have to show that in a little bit too. Okay, so and for the amulets we got this time, we got a for the 100 kills in a row, destroy all the monster nests and kill 2,000 swarm monsters. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's a toughie. And you can tell from now we got a little bit more experience from beating the same board. And this board, I'd like to come back to this one all the time. It is just fun. Kill 7,000 monsters in one battle on field C11. So this one's got its own, yeah. This does have its special challenge. So that one you got to do the swarm on, I'm sure. It's just impossible to do otherwise. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at something where we have amplifiers. I think this one's like that, yeah. This is where it also gets pretty interesting. Let's do random waves for the heck of it. And we'll go with... no, I don't want to go more... we'll go number of waves 10. Okay, so let's go like that. And we didn't get any levels, so we can't really do any benefits here. And I don't know if I don't think we got poison on this one, so we want to take the poison off. I don't think we got bloodbound either. Actually, no, we're not constructing anything this time. Let's just make sure our mana pool is good, because we're going to be using a lot of basic ones in this one, so that should be good. Let's do one more down here, one up there. Good. Start the battle. Next one we're looking at is amplifiers. This one you can actually take... first of all, let's put the walls down here. You can build amplifiers too, but we'll get back to that. Put a wall here. Put a wall here. Put a wall here. And put a wall here. Now, you can tell I just completely altered the map just by putting those down. Where before they could have just ran right through here, straight to here, and you'd be boned. They expect you to alter the maps, and that's the beauty of it. They want you to. So just by doing what I did, now they're going to have to come all the way around here and work their way through. Oh wait, I've got to do one more right here. Now they're going to work all the way around these towers, which is exactly what we want. So let's see what we got this time. We got slowing and we got shocking. Doesn't matter. Hold on. Now we're going to take this one, and we're going to make one low-grade gem, okay? We're going to put this one right here, okay? Now we're going to take a look and let's make a few more of them. Let's make 1, 2, 3, and let's go ahead and do the slow. 1, 2, 3. And let's look at the can we do one more of each? Yes, we can. So let's look at what we got initial stats for this. Okay, damage 4 to 10, range 2.3, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now we're going to take a look and we're going to add few extra things around the edge here. And of course, the stronger gem you put in the amplifier, the stronger the effect is going to be. But now let's go ahead and take a look at this guy again. Oh, that range is now huge. It's now a range of 4. It's got a damage of 26 to 63 versus whatever the heck it was before. It was tiny. It was tiny. And all these extra bonuses. Look at all the junk that it just added. And we could take one tower and just make it one massive tower. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll start this up. And let's go ahead and create a slow gem to add to it. I always like to do this if I can. I like dual gems. They're my thing. We don't have the strength enough to do it yet, so we got to wait to get a little bit more mana out of these guys. There we go. Now I have enough mana to do this. So now we're going to take this one. We're going to combine it with that. And the range increases again because now we have a higher grade gem that it's amplifying. And it's got the 22% slow, 20% chance of shock. So all these benefits are being added to this one. So we get a lot more chance of shock, a lot more chance of slow. The shock, by the way, is just a freeze effect. Of course, they're dying before that effect is even bothering to take place. And let's see, we got a couple other things you can do in this game. You can increase your mana pool and stuff like that too. I might as well cover these while this battle is taking place. We can increase our mana pool by going through and hitting this button here. This makes it so that you get more mana gain and more maximum mana that you can use. Because a lot of these higher grade amulet or gems, you can't even get them unless you have enough mana pool to even do that. So huge benefit there. Oh, we got some giants. That's different. Did not see that coming. And every giant is a little bit different, like this guy right here. Oh, by the way, another thing worth noting. These giant, if you click on any particular one, the tower is going to focus on that guy. So there's actually a reason to click on them now. It's not just to look at... Oh, hello, what's that there? That would be the apparition. I did not see you coming through, buddy. Dang it. Oh, he just shows... that thing just kind of randomly shows up on various levels. And if you could take him out, it's like an extra bonus or something like that. But once he's gone, he's gone. That's a shame. Oh, well, I would have focused my attack on him if I had seen him going through. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's upgrade this one now. Let's go ahead and upgrade that some more. So now we got an even bigger range, even more attack. And let's go ahead, let's add something else to this game. So let's, why don't we make it so that every time we hit them, we're going to do even more damage, or we're going to gain more from it. So let's go ahead and let's make it so we can add a bloodbound gem to this. So I got to shift click. Now we can create bloodbound gems. Now I want to make it of the same strength that currently is. So I want to create one here. Let's combine that here. Now we have a triple effect one. We have the 13% to go to damage. We got the slow, and we got the shock. Okay, so now let's let this go ahead and do its thing. And its range just got redonkulous. And this can get even better. We can go ahead and upgrade these ones to make the range even better too. Like, let's go ahead and let's upgrade this one. and this one, this one, this one. Okay. So now it's hitting him way out here. We can keep doing that too. We can go ahead and get this one, this one, this one, this one. Even bigger. And we're just owning it. I'm loving this map. This is a fun map. Now let's go ahead and send a few early. We're going to make sure that it's targeting the ones that are not the ones that have the highest banishment cost. That's probably the best thing to target. So if we get those swarm waves, it's not going to own us. Always a good idea. What's it going to take to double this one? 1,080? Oh, we're almost there. Oh, yeah, we can upgrade this one again. Yeah, do it again, do it again. Yeah, there we go, grade 5. Can we get this up to grade 6? I would love to be able to see a grade 6 right now. That would be great. Oh, we got some giants. We got some. Let's go ahead and send some armor through. What's it going to take to get this to grade 6? We're going to need 2,200 mana. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of effort, but you know what? We might just make it there anyways. One just got through, but I'm not worried about it. Send this one early. Let's just send 2 early. Let's just own these guys. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on! A lot of times we play this game on forward line, too, because we just get used to this game really quick. What's this one? This is a giant wave. Oh, we got one giant monster right there, too. Yeah, bring him on. Yeah, bring it. He's going to be nice and slow. Oh, and we can upgrade it. We got it. We got it. Ready? And upgrade. That gives us another amulet, and we get a beautiful gem here that's just going to start destroying everything. Bring that one, too. Just bring it. Bring it all on. You are toast. Good night, sweet prince. Yeah, we did pretty good on that one. Okay, back to the map. How much did it increase it, though? Yeah, that was barely an increase, because I wasn't really focusing on anything. Because we let one of them through, so we would have gotten another amulet if we hadn't let one through. So, as you can tell, this game has a lot of different stuff to it. And when you saw that one before, that one apparition, that's part of the storyline of the game. And you can also tell that there's going to be some other secrets and stuff like that, too. Because if you notice over here, see this one that doesn't open? That you unlock by doing a certain number of damage to something or something like that. So every single corner has its own special unlock thing. And that's it. That's even better. I mean, there's so much you can unlock. And there's, of course, boss battles and endless waves. And, oh, there is so much to this game. This game has so much behind it. Let's try a different one here. Let's see if we can do one with the shocking amulet things. Is that this one? I think it's... No, not that one. Oh, this one right here. Let's do this. And I'm just going to keep it as normal. Yeah, just move it on. Move it on. Move it on. So this is a slightly different one. This one, we have what are called shrines. And the shrines, you can build the shrines. You can build them right here. They act a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put a tower right here. So we can start getting enough to get to the shrine. Combine that. Pop that there. Start bringing this on. Now, you can tell they're charging. And you need to charge them up before you can even do anything with them. Okay? And you charge them up faster, actually, by sending waves early. So let's look at, we're currently at 45. Let's send this one a little bit early. So now we're at 70. These definitely have some very interesting effects in the game. Now, what you got to do in order to get this to work... Okay, first of all, I got to show you what throwing a gem bomb is, because I haven't even shown you that. Let's go ahead and make a few of these suckers right here. Okay? One more. And now there's a throw gem bomb ability. If we take this... Actually, if we shift-click that... we can take these gems, and we can now target them personally ourselves and throw them. And when we throw them... They'll do a certain number of damage according to what the quality they were when we made them. So, yeah, let's go ahead and turn that off. Now, what these do, and by the way, you can do a lot by throwing gems. It's not just that. We're going to upgrade this one now that we can. There's more to the gem bombs than that. Like, if we take one of these gem bombs, let's throw it here. We can take this one, and we can make that one even stronger. So now this one's sped up, stronger, and everything, and I'm hoping we can own this one. It probably was a bad idea. You can also take a gem bomb, and you can throw it down here, and get back a little bit of the cost that you got from making that gem. kind of an interesting little effect too. But what we actually want to be doing right now, let's go ahead and let's make a good gem. Let's make this one, I don't know, that level, okay? We might not actually beat this board. I don't really care. Let's go ahead and let's get a few things going early here, okay? So we're going to flood the board with tons of enemies, right? Get them all nice and lined up in rows and stop there. So now that we got a whole bunch of junk on, well, let's see if we can get a little bit more in line, right? Like, beautiful. Okay, so let's take this gem, and we're going to put it on this tower, right? Well, we got to hit the gem throw button. We're going to take this one, we're going to put it right. Oh, we just got to do this. And we just completely annihilated those with one hit. Beautiful! Now we can do that again. Let's go ahead and make another one, okay? And let's see if we can get more of them coming out over here. This one does it a little bit different. We're going to wait till we got everything in range that we can possibly have in range. Right like that, okay? Now we're going to take this one. We're going to put it here. Again, well, I'd rather it be running when we do this, though. Right like that. And that one does a massive area of effective attack. This one does a line attack, and this one does an area of effective attack. Now, you can't use them all the time, but you can use them. And obviously, you get a few amulets for using them because they do a lot of damage pretty quickly. So, I just got a lot. So, yeah, we definitely just got an increase on that. Not as much as I would have liked. But I would, again, not paying attention to that. So, there's a lot of variety here. Oh, gained a level. That's lovely. There's a lot of variety, and there's a lot to do in this game. I've been playing it about 3 hours so far, so I can unlock a few things to show you guys. But that's just a start. I didn't get to a single boss battle. I didn't get to a single special anything just by playing it for 3 hours. You can play this one for a long time, and that's the beautiful thing about this game. The ability of the fact that the towers that are so completely different, and they are. Well, sure, we'll just go like that, and I don't care. We'll just go like that. Start this up. The fact that the towers are gems, the fact that there's so much variety to those gems, the fact that you can make those towers into multiple towers put together at the same time. There's just so much. There really is. This game has so much variety to it. So I highly encourage you guys to try this game out. It's a lot of fun. This is Gemcraft. And I'm doing this one. This is Gemcraft Labyrinth. There is, as I said before, 3 different versions of this game. I don't think there's a good reason to go check out the previous versions, I'll be honest. They're actually pretty much the same game. So there's not really a reason to go back and try out the earlier ones. So you could just go straight to this one. It's not gonna hurt you a whole lot. Wait for some mana to play that right there. Good to go. Because pretty much everything that's in that version is in this version. You don't really need to go. Basically, every version just adds a little bit to the previous one. So, yeah. So try it out. This is Gemcraft Labyrinth. I'll include some links in the description, as I always do. And I hope you guys try it out. I'm just going to keep going here for a little bit, see if I can get I'm going to let this run so you can see another game before I get owned in it. But outside of that, I'm going to stop talking. You guys have a good one. all the sound effects or something where basically it's like you were just sitting in school and you're just making sound effects with your friends as you go through and do something. I love that. It really adds to the character of the game, and I love that. This is gonna hurt a lot. Oh, this is gonna hurt a lot. And even though I have a bunch of my guys equipped with